Namaskar. I am coming from Murshidabad district in the state of West Bengal. And Murshidabad is one of the backward district in this country. It is one of the border district. So the village where I still live is a remote one, far from the range of modernization. So more than 20 years before the situation was worse. I noticed that some stray children wandered here and there like a sheep without the rudder. So I made up my mind to do something positive for those helpless children. Actually, my father, Muhammad Nasiruddin, who believes that proper education is man's true religion. So though he was a school dropout, but he had great interest about education. He had an ambition to see me as an IAS officer. So he admitted me 10 kilometers far away school. And after returning from my 10 kilometers far away school, I saw the children like my age. They are unable to attend the schools. Better to say, they engage themselves with different works. Girls were working at their houses. Boys, they were grazing cattle. They were working at the shops. They were collecting garbage at the rag pickers. So I collected 8 of them, include my sister, who was my first student, and started teaching under a guava tree in our family backyard. That time there was no particular syllabus. Whatever I have learned from my own school, I love to share with those children. So these two things, love and realization. What was the love? It came from my heart. And the realization means I realized that because of my father, even I am getting education from 10 kilometers far away school. But I should do something for these children. Then my mother, she was the first person who came forward to support me. Initially, my father, he thought that if I can share my own lessons with others, maybe my own education is going to be hampered. So he warned me not to continue this work. Again, I did the same thing. I gathered those children at a nearby village jungle. So one day he asked a retired degree college principal that my son is teaching every day afternoon. He is not listening me. What I should do? So his answer was, your son is doing a good work. And if he can do good for the society, God will help him. And I am fortunate enough. I had complete family support from since inception to till date. Then I decided to inaugurate my school after my 5th standard annual examination. It was the month of April in the year of 2003. So I collected sari from my mother and the village woman, made a pandal and asked that retired degree college principal to inaugurate our school. He did that. Later I asked him that what should be the suitable name for our institution. So throughout his observation, at our institution, students are taking their classes in joyful atmosphere. So in Bengali, Anando Shiksha Niketan, and in English, the home of joyful learning. Then I decided, that there was no books, no stationaries, nothing was there. So I decided to collect rice from the students' family. Then we sold it to a grocery shop. We purchased 20 Bengali and English alphabet book and we distributed to our students. Then one idea came in my mind that I should visit to the local Ramakrishna mission. So I, along with my students, one day afternoon, I met with the then headmaster monk of Ramakrishna mission, that is 3 kilometers from my home, and shared my journey. Obviously, he was surprised. And that day he asked me that, what is your expectation from my side? So my answer was, Swamiji, you provided us a school uniform and books. If you can do the same for my students. So he promised me, yes, I will do that. But today, I am giving you a book of Swami Vivekananda and advised me to read that book at least 5 minutes in a day. So from that book, there was a quotation, service to man is service to God. It inspired me to continue my mission. And since then, Swami Vivekananda, he is my inspiration. Then every day in the same year, I was asking for broken chalk from my school teacher. So out of curiosity, she asked why I am asking for broken chalks every day. So she just asked my classmates that why he is doing all those broken chalks. So my classmates, their reply was, Madam, He is using those broken chalks to teach the children in his village. So she came forward with a full box of chalk. And so those were the encouragement in my journey. Then I decided to give it a concrete phase because it was not just a play. There was lots of determination was associated in my journey. So while in the lunch break in our school, my classmates, they engaged themselves in the playground. I used to stand in front of the headmaster office and the clerk's office, that how they are maintaining all the official works and everything. So in the beginning of our new session from our school, we were received the school book list, and in the school book list, they mentioned that there is a managing committee in every school. So I thought that I should also bring a managing committee of our institution. I was just 7th standard students, and the Bengali leading newspaper, they published about me. So one day, with my school dress, I went to the district headquarters to meet with the district magistrate. So the additional district magistrate, Mr. Jivan Krishna Sadhu Khan, I just gave him a slip that Babar Ali headmaster Ananda Shiksha Niketan wants to meet with you. He thought that headmaster means a senior person, he is a busy person, he should call first. He just asked his staff, bring the headmaster. I went in his room, he was so angry. I called to headmaster, who are you? So my answer was that I am the same person with my folded hand. I started a school and I am teaching. And he then and there sent the subdivisional magistrate that what is going on, you just please see. And I am very happy to inform you that the works and everything, the records and everything that we were maintaining that time, he was so amazed, he gave a report. And then I asked that subdivisional magistrate that, sir, you please become the president of our school managing committee. So he was the first president of our school managing committee. And one principal madam, for last 16 years, I also met with her with an event with motherly feelings. She asked me that how I can help you. So I requested her to become the secretary of our school managing committee. Madam Firoza Begum, for last 16 years, she is the secretary of our school managing committee. Though there is the scarcity of times, there are lots of stories are associated in my 21 years of journey. Though I had to suffer much, struggle much, but I did not give up hope. I hoped against hope and fought tooth and nail to combat all the adversities. So the place where I am from, it was not so easy to bring the children in the field of education. So when I founded my institution, Ananda Shiksha Niketan, the village elders were very skeptic to educate their children, as because they were not educated themselves. Hence, they used their children as the helping hand. To send the girls' children, there was a strong reservation. So when I pursued to the parents to send their kids at our school, the first question I was asked that how education will be important, even who cannot afford 2 squares a meal in a day, and to educate girls, they will not find husband. Actually, the early marriage problem was existed. On the other hand, there was religious biasness, lots of conspiracy, jealousy, ill-motivated people, discouragement, everything was associated in my life. But I ignored all the criticisms and went ahead with my mission and vision. And you will be happy to know that nowadays at our institution, there is 60% are girls and 40% are boys. But it was not so easy to bring the girls' children in the field of education. I am going to give one example. One of my students, her name is Chumki Hajra. Along with her family members, they went to Jaipur as the migrant labor. So, but for the unhealthy conditions, they came back again, and she was very much interested to get education. And her grandmother was a fishmonger. She was selling fish door to door, but she had no money to admit her in a school. She came to know about our institution, Ananda Shiksha Niketan. She approached me that I want to admit my granddaughter at your institution. She did that, and later, after a few days, that so-called uneducated person, a fishmonger, an elderly person, approached me that I also want to work with you. She looked after all the students. She was collecting children in the field of education, the dropouts to my school, until her last breath, she was with me. And her granddaughter, after her graduation and post-graduation and teacher's training degree, Now she came back as the teacher at our institution. And not only that, six of our girls students include my sister, who was my first student after her graduation, post-graduation, and the B.Ed degree. They came back as the teacher. As I believe that education is not a bookish knowledge, not a pack of information, but it is human making. So we are trying to help our students to become a real human being who can positively impact our society. So these are the examples that six of our girls students, they understood that they should give something back to our society. And next month I am going, right now I am 30, next month I am going to complete my 21 years of journey, that is 19th October 2023. And more than 8,000 students has received completely free education from our institution. And not only that, a journey which was started under a guava tree, now we are able to give a concrete shape with my well-wishers and the mentors across the country. There is no support from the government, but the persons like you are supporting me, and with that support, we are able to construct a good infrastructure at our place. And not only that, you know that in the COVID time, the school like ours, school in the rural India, they suffered a lot. For 2 years, students were totally deprived from education. There was, better to say, there was no education. Then I felt an urgency that this is the need of the hour to introduce them the computer literacy and the digital learning center at our institution. So a few months before, we are able to inaugurate our a library as well as the digital learning center at our institution. Now the students, they are happily, they can learn many things from our institution. But we are always giving them importance, not only the bookish knowledge, also to become a real human being, the human excellence and the value-based education from our institution. So myself completed my double post-graduation in English literature and history, though when I became the TED Fellow in the year of 2009, when BBC declared me as the youngest headmaster in the world, even I didn't know what is TED, I am going somewhere. Then they asked me to speak in English, but that time I delivered my speech in Bengali, and one of our fellow from Bangladesh, he translated in English. And then I promised them that if I can get an opportunity to speak in next time, I will deliver my speech in English. So over 1 year, I learned English through conversation, and I always love to say that I want to be a student forever. So this particular message from Swami Vivekananda, I always try to realize and implement it in my life. That is, go on bravely. Do not expect success in a day or year. Always hold on to the highest. Be steady. Avoid jealousy and selfishness. Be obedient. Be eternally faithful to the cause of truth, humanity, and your country, and you will move the world. So throughout my journey, now I am convinced that nothing can stand against firm determination, firm conviction, and firm will. The only things you should have into your heart are courage, purity, honesty, and above all, love. I started with love. As you all know that love can conquer everything. Actually, I had the call of love in the core of my heart, and I proceed, ultimately succeed. I think we must have the motto, we must do something extraordinary in this whole human life. We must leave a mark on the soil in this earth. So for my work, I had many recognition, but I want to bring more Babar, more Ananda Shiksha Niketan in this country. This is my dream. So the national ideals of India are renunciation and service. So nowadays, education for all with equal opportunity, this is my dream. Nowadays, there are good numbers of institutions in our country, but I am not criticizing, but there is the scarcity of human excellence, value-based education. So along with my dream education for all with equal opportunity, value-based education and human excellence is very much necessary nowadays. But this is not only possible for me. If we can work together for the children who still need education, quality education, and as well as the human excellence, then we can make a better nation for our future generation. So one of the video messages from our former president. However,
Babar Ali has been providing education to underprivileged children in West Bengal since his childhood.
So these two lines should be embossed on the tablet of our mind, that is, miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. So thank you very much for your patience hearing, and namaskar.